Okay, guys. Hello and welcome to today's live stream session. As you know, today we are going to draw and paint birds, and I'm so excited about it. I don't know if you tried to download the app I told you about, but I'm so excited and happy that my best friend recommended this app because it was really such a useful tool, honestly. I've always been wondering in my walks, like, what's this bird I hear and why this singing is different than this other one, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, it's amazing how this device recognizes or at least try to identify the bird, because sometimes, wow, those are things that would take a long time to learn, and to master. So yeah, I'm very excited to draw the birds that are around me because, yeah, I'm very inspired by the local fauna and plants and flora, etc. So this is something I really wanted to do, but because I don't know anything about ornithology or birds, well, I started learning a couple of years ago, and that's how I got interested more into it. Like I have a Collins Bird Guide reference, and then whenever we see a new bird or something like that, we try to find it in the guide. And in this guide, you also have like audio, recorded audio. So it's nice. It's nice. I'm very happy about this. And on the board, like I share my screen right now because we will be painting one of these birds today. I've been checking. These are all the birds I saw around. Well, so I didn't always see them. I sometimes only hear them. Some other times I saw them. So you can see I have common swifts, goldfinch, European goldfinch, Eurasian tree creeper. Oh my God, this guy is so fun. Like, it's so small and it looks like he likes to be on the bark of the tree instead of the branches. Like, I don't know. A fun guy. The firecrest. Oh my God, the firecrest is so beautiful with this orange yellowish hair. I also added house sparrows because we all have them around, I think. I also added coal teats, chaffinch, common chaffinch. We have a lot of them, of these around. You can find them and hear them all the time. We also have Eurasian blackcaps here, these ones. Stone thrust. This bird was so tiny, really tiny, and I love the pattern on the chest. You have chiffchaffs. Oh my God, chiffchaffs are all the time around. And then there is a song they make, which is chiffchaff, chiffchaff, chiffchaff. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's called chiffchaff. Like, I was really impressed when I saw that. We have then, European robins, of course. Some blackbirds, a black red star. This one was so beautiful, amazing, really like. Here it looks like more gray, but it looked like more bluish, and then with some red tail. Amazing. I added a black kite because there are a lot here, black kites. House martins, these ones are also so beautiful. They are very blue. Like in the photo, you can notice a bit here, like the body is blue, but in real life, they are very blue. Oops. I don't know if I click on the correct thing. No. Okay, here. Then a gold crest as well. And yeah. I don't remember. Great teeth. I didn't remember the name of this one, but yeah. Anyway, so I have here also my drawing sketchbook. So I have a sketchbook only for drawings because sometimes it helps me a lot to first try to draw it, the thing I'm painting, and then drawing it to paint it, right? So that's why I have my drawing sketchbook today. And it looks like I'm a saint or something like with this aureole. Sorry, but this is the device that allows you to see my desk. I could do something to change it. I mean, I don't think it's bothering you, but I can also, whoops, no. I can also do this. Yes, hello. Okay, and like that we have more space for the rest. So I read that it's easier to draw at the beginning a bird that is positioned on its side, and not 3/4 position. So let's try to find one of them that we like. For example, this one is nice, but I love robins, honestly. They're so cute and orange. Or goldfinch. This one is amazing. This goldfinch is so amazing. Oh, 1 second. This is a chaffinch? No, this is supposed to be yeah, chaffinch. I don't know why I said goldfinch. A chaffinch, yes. So, this one you see, it's more on the 3/4 view, I would say. Not 3/4, but like backwards. This one is amazing. This European goldfinch. I think we can start with this one, if you agree. Is that fine for you? I hope so. Okay. Let me then, yes, yeah. You should be able to see my sketchbook now, and I will put now on this side of the screen an image of the bird we chose, okay, which is the European goldfinch. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so this is my drawing sketchbook. Well, you can see here the flower we drew last time. Well, lots of notes and studies, things, drawings in general, notes about things I learned, because drawing is a different skill than painting, I would say, from my point of view. So yes, you also see here that I have a book, and this is because I have this book called The Lost Guide to Nature Drawing and Journaling. written and illustrated by John Muir Loss. You know him probably, John Muir. Yeah, he's the master of nature drawing and nature journaling. So he goes outside and journals about the birds, about his surroundings. Yeah, he tells you here how to draw different things, how to apply different techniques for watercolor, for color pencil, how to make your own palette, how to create your journal kit, everything. So it's great. I learned a lot from this book. I'm still learning, of course. And there's a page all about drawing birds. And honestly, it's the first time I draw a bird. I think I never did, or if I did it, I don't remember right now. But I never look for ways to draw a bird, which is weird, but I never felt ready. So here we are. If this is your first time to painting and drawing birds, that's great. It's our first painting, so I feel a bit less alone, and I hope you do that as well. So in this drawing birds step by step, it's not that we will follow step by step, but it's interesting to notice the few tips he gave. I will give you the most important ones I read, because the rest my brain doesn't remember them, because maybe we only need 2 or 3 types and not 10, right? So the first tip is to make one line to represent the posture or body angle of the bird. So if this is the bird, you see the action line, so the line that goes from the top of his head to the tail, it's like this. That's useful when you are painting and drawing also like characters moving, because you can better then around that line position each part of the body. Then the second good idea is, okay, it says to add an oval around, fine. And then it says, this is very important, I think, to place the head adjusting the size and position if necessary. So this first circle he made is not the good one. You see, like, oh, I would have done this. That's why this tip stuck in my head, because I would have, okay, I will do this body and then the head will go on top of the body. And that's not true. It goes really here. You see the oval here, it goes over the oval. So into the shape, not on top, into the shape of the oval. And that's interesting. And then don't worry, because this looks like very small for the bird, but at the end, it's this small, as you can see. If this is the size, like from the head to this part, you can see it's this part. And then we will add additionally the tail, which makes it longer. So that's fine. Okay, then what it tells you is to add the eye beak line. So mainly is where the beak, how it's positioned. If it's positioned upwards, you see, downwards the beak. So this line on the beak. And then depending on that, the eye will go on top of that line. And then the final tip that really helped me understand how to draw a bird is to paint or visualize the negative shape around the bird. So instead of checking, okay, the bird, I need to draw this line like this, then a bit like this. No, you visualize the space behind the bird, and that makes you find the lines to make him stand out, let's say. Then we can go a bit more over this, but those are the tips I think are interesting. So let's put them in practice. Anyway, I'll have this next to me just in case we need to check it out. I'm using today a 4B, at least here at the beginning. It's important because I want a lot of movement freedom. So this is a 4B pencil. And as you can see, 4B pencils, they glide better, they glide more easily around the page. This is a 6B, I think, yes. Because they are mostly graphite, so they have a lot of graphite. They glide better and they are more easy to use than HB or 2H, hard pencils. That's why I'm using it. So our page is already ruined, which is perfect. Now I will check this bird, and if you remember, we will do maybe several drawings. You can do whatever you want, okay? You can either watch, draw along, or yeah, just do one of the drawings. I will maybe do 2. We will see like how it goes. So then it's clear that for me, our bird is more or less in this position. Well, I did it a bit too much, a bit too steep. I think the line is less steep maybe, but that's fine. And then I will draw this ellipse we said before. And then this tells me, put the head here, but no, do red. We will go really into the shape. It's weird for me to put the head here, but that's fine. If John Muir says it, fine. I think you probably are right. You draw many more birds than I did. Okay, then we said to add the big line. So honestly, I think this one is not upwards like he was doing before for the bird that he's drawing here. This one is more of downwards. No, it's more like looking like this. Even more like this. No, like this, I think. Okay, and then of course he tells also to draw the line for the tail. And the tail, it doesn't go like this. The tail, as you can see, it goes a bit down, right? Let me see. Yeah, it goes a bit down like this. Okay, and that's where it says to visualize the negative shape around the bird. That's what I'm trying to say, to do so. I'm doing this kind of scapula. So this kind of scapula feather, you see the scapula is this bone here, if I'm not wrong. So I'm trying to do this part of the bird now. Now, I'm exaggerating a bit the shapes as it tells in the book. Don't hesitate to exaggerate the shapes, like this, for example. Not doing them so round, because that gives you a better overview of the bird, of the true, shape of the bird. Sorry, today I'm not finding my words. That's because I didn't sleep a lot, honestly. I had some concert, and then yeah, he says to then find the feet. So you make a line, not parallel, but similar to the one that you made here, and then perpendicular, and then you have the claws here. Okay, I mean, in this photo we cannot see it because he's like on a branch where we have here some kind of flower or something. So we cannot really see, I think. I'm trying to zoom in, but yeah, you can see just a little bit. Okay, now maybe let's try to draw the beak and the... I mean, I like the shape already. I'm surprised you are more lost. I see now that, yeah, this is not so down, it's a bit more upward. So I will erase. I mean, we don't need to make it perfect at all, but sometimes I just want to erase so I get a better feeling of what I'm looking at, maybe. Cool. Okay, so now this is more like, I don't know, more like this. One second, what I'm doing is I'm putting my pencil like this on top of the image of the bird, forming the line from head to tail, and then I see if the line that takes the eyes and the beak goes down or goes up, and it clearly goes down. I mean, not that down as I did, but it clearly goes down. So we are supposed to put the eye on top of this, which I think the eye will be the most difficult thing because I don't know how big to make it. No, not that big. It's much smaller. The eye is much smaller, I think. I'm not sure which shape they have, the eyes, but that's fine. And then the beak. The beak is super weird for me. It doesn't say any tip to paint the beak, by the way. What about something like that? I mean, this guy has a huge beak, honestly. This guy has a huge beak. Something like that, I would say. What do you think? Not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. Now, just allow me to add a few things here and there. Just like, where would the red go? I don't understand really how the feathers on this wing are, but what I can see is something like here. We have some kind of division, I would say. And here we have this. And we can do something like that. I don't really understand, honestly. But let's try it like that. And then we are suggesting that there are a few leaves there and a few leaves there. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, not bad. I don't know, the tail looks small. And it's not that pointy, right? It's more like, I don't know if it's that long, honestly. What you can do is you can place your, imagine this is your image, you place your pencil like this, and then you can see, okay, the body goes from here to here, and then the tail measures this other size. So I'm measuring the body first, and then I see that the tail is half the measure of the body. So if you see, for example, let's do it here. If we say from here to here, so this is like this. This is the size of the body of the bird. We need to use half of this size, more or less, for the tail. So from here to here, it's half is more or less here. No, here. Yeah, it's fine. It's more or less fine. It's just approximate so you get an idea on how to do it. I don't know if this guy's head is a bit too round, maybe. Oh my God, I'm so proud of this bird, honestly. I hope you are proud of your bird too. It's so fun to make. Oh my God. And yeah, you feel so free when you do it with a pencil on a different sketchbook, you don't have the pressure to do the correct drawing or something like that. So, okay. But now what I want to do here is I want to do the same. So I will draw it, but I will make the lines softer so I can prepare for my next drawing, which be in the sketchbook where we will then paint with watercolors, etc. So I have here a big spread still. This spread, so probably I will draw one of the birds here, something like that. Yeah. So same thing as before. Now, instead of looking at your bird, you can look at your drawing if you want. But the difference I see is that the bird I painted and the bird that I see on the screen, they have like the head. This one is much more tilted forward, so lean forward, and the bird is much more straight. I would say the face is much more straight. So I will try to make it here differently. So instead of doing this first diagonal so thick, I will make it more like this. I don't know if I manage. Let's see. 1 second. Okay, I managed just a little bit, so let's make it a bit more. Again, this doesn't matter as much, really. I don't know why this big. Now we set them. And what I see on his drawing is that when you place this second round, this second circle for the head, this line doesn't divide the circle in two. It divides the circle more or less here. So that's something we can fix now. And of course, this depends on the position your bird has. I agree 100%. But because we are learning from this book how to draw this position in particular, I prefer to pay attention to that. I think his body is too big right now, or too, yeah, something like that. Okay, perfect. So now we said we were going to add the tail, something like that. We are going to add the beak situation, the eye beak situation. Then we are going to try to find the shapes, negative shapes, if you remember. I'm trying to exaggerate the lines a bit more. And so I'm sorry, my dog is barking to the neighbor's dog because the neighbor's dog is barking. Just give me 1 second. Can he? Can find. Oh, can find this. ¿Vale? No te enfades, Ruth. No te enfades. I'm telling him to not be mad at them because of the noise. This guy has a big forehead, I would say. Huh? But okay, let's draw the eye. Oh, siento. ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? What happened? ¿Qué salir? Okay, he wanted to go outside the room with my boyfriend. So we let him go. So now what I try to do is I will try to remove the lines we made, mainly so I can see really the shape of the bird, how he would look like now when we make it in this other, when we draw it in this other paper. I love when birds have these color feathers, like yellow suddenly. So I'm trying to divide the tail. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to not cut like this, the shapes, but cut them more feather-like. You see, like more of a rounded shape, like a feather would end up. That's what I'm trying to do. And then here's the same. These are mostly black, honestly, these feathers. And I don't really understand. Let me try to zoom in the image because I don't really understand that shape. Image. One second. Let's look. Let's take a good look at those feathers. You are not seeing me right now, but it doesn't matter. I don't really understand those feathers, but I imagine they're like this, and that's fine. Okay, for our first bird, that's completely fine. Okay, okay, and then I will make it smaller now. Okay, yes, let's make it like this. Okay, and now the good thing I have is that I see my bird on the screen and the bird on the photo. So let's see if we manage to make all the shapes more or less fine. If you have a smaller laser like this one, you can use it. So for me, I see now that the head is too high or the eye is too low. So, but anyway, this bird looks to have, or seems to have the head like not so round, more flat on the top, I would say. So I'm making it smaller. Then I'm making the chest a little thinner. Another important thing is the eye. Maybe I made it too big before. You know what? I think now the beak, I know what's happening. So I'm doing the beak like this. The beak looks fine from my point of view. Okay, I can make a zoom if you want of my drawing so you can see the beak. Oops. This one, can we make a zoom? Yep. Nope. So the problem is here that the beak I'm making more or less the same shape, which is fine. What I'm not nailing is that I divided my beak like this in two, and this is not the case. He has the beak divided more like this. You know, like it doesn't arrive here really. It's more of a, not divided like, it's not divided into equal parts. It's divided more exactly, more like this. So the upper part looks like it's bigger than the smaller part. And then this, you can really see, puts the eye a bit more up. What do you think of this? Too big, too small, bigger eye. Sometimes you need to take a step back and look at your drawing and say, what's going on? So what is missing here? Okay, from my point of view, that looks much better. Oh my God, now we need to make this into our painting, but don't worry. Don't worry at all, really. It will be fun. I see that. Okay, then I can try to make some sort of where the red line will be, where the black line will be. This is white mainly. And then I see he would have less chest. That's why I made it smaller. Okay, now if you remember, we have to, if this was the, I have to find the little feet. Okay, not that bad, I would say. Probably it has a lot of errors, but I'm surprised with my first bird. I'm surprised. I drew that. I drew that, and you drew that as well. Oh my God. So I see this part is smaller. That's why I jumped a bit here, go up. I don't know if I like so many feathers here, so I will try to make different style of feather. So of course this like yellow, etc. Yes, but then here, instead of drawing each individual feather as he's saying in the book, you don't need to really. Like a couple of feathers is enough, and then we will maybe emphasize the rest with the watercolor painting or with the pencils. Okay, so that's not bad from my point of view. I didn't put a lot of attention into the tail. I think this tail is more like this. Remember what we said? If the bird is this big, then half of this size should be the tail. Okay, So half of this size would be more or less around here, I would say. The tail must be bigger, I would say. Yeah, I didn't measure that very well. And then I see the shape is quite triangular, I would say. And here, sorry, I'm redoing again because I was not convinced. What I do now is I can check quickly. Okay, more or less. That's nice. Now it's time to fit it here. Oh my god, now I see I've done it super big, which is not, it's fine enough because it fits, I think, but I don't know if it will completely fit. So here is about two things. You can either trace this one with a darker marker, for example, or a darker lines, and then you can put a light board behind, and then you can trace it into your paper, which is completely fine 100%. I mean, don't feel bad for tracing from your own drawings and tracing in general. I mean, unless you are selling that work, of course, you shouldn't sell some drawings that are not yours. If it's yours, don't feel bad for tracing. That's fine. That's completely fine. I will try to draw it again because I like the challenge. And I think each time I do it, I learn something else. That's fine. Okay, now we get to the fun part, which is watercolors. Well, the fun part for me, at least. So congratulations, if you finished, you drew your first bird. If you need to have more time to draw it, that's completely fine. Take your time. Pause the video if you are rewatching the live session, which will be the case today because no one joined the live session, but that's fine. It's completely fine. This is just for you. So I understand that sometimes the times are not good for everyone. Okay, so I will then bring my watercolors here. You can see them, right? Yes. What I will do is I will now remove the zoom because we don't need it now. I put the zoom mainly so you could see the bird bigger. So maybe something like that. Is that fine for you? I think you can see, right? Yes, that's okay. Okay, so yeah, I know this tool is a bit disgusting, but ignore it. So I'm doing the body first. I'm thinking of doing the body or the I'm not sure. I'm thinking of doing first the background. Should I make the background first? No, that's fine. We'll do first the body. I don't have why. I don't have a reason why we should do first the body. It's just that. Okay, I'm taking some yellow ochre or raw sienna. It's also fine. You can add a little bit of blue if you want to have this lavender in my palette, which is great because it makes it less orange, as you can see, right? So we need kind of an orangey part and some part that is not so orange. So I will paint first this side of the body. The consistency is quite tea-like, so a lot of water, not a lot of pigment. And make sure to mix it with some blue or purple as I have here, but yeah, or it will be better to be blue. It's just that I want to use this paint I have left, that's all. I'm using a number 10 brush, by the way. If you're interested, you can use a smaller one if you want. That's also perfect. Smaller one would also work perfect, like 8 or 6, something like that. This is my dirty water. This is my clean water. Okay, remember to, if you want to paint with water, put clean water. If you want to clean your brush, and dirty water. Then, for sure, for this part of the face, I will pick up the smaller brush because I don't trust to be able to use these ones, big ones for that small part. And as you can see, this bird has red all over the face, but it also has some black that I will add later, so that's fine. We'll add the red first. I'm using just the vermilion, I think, or people scarlet. It doesn't matter a lot really. what I think is that I will mix it a little bit with Perlin maroon, because this red, I mean, the red of the bird is bright, but I don't know if that bright, you see what I mean, right? So don't hesitate to make this line, to not make it a line, but to really give it texture of feathers, because it's a white part of these feathers are white, I mean, so we can see a bit of what's going on of the feathers there. So yes, perfect. And as you can see, this bird has some black joining the beak with the eye, which we will add later, okay, as a detail. So no worries, that's fine. What else can we do for now? So we can do this part, which is using the same mix of yellow, ochre, and blue, something like this. We can pick up some water, some clean water, okay? And then look at the chest here. It's white, it's really white. And then before being white, it's a bit beige-like color. So I'm adding water there, so it diffuses nicely. And then here's the same. So there are some beige, but then it diffuses in white again. So adding some water there, so it's blending and it's taking a bit of color, but not a lot. I can add a bit more of this because I see there are some feathers there that are darker, more yellow like. And then for the red, I see here we can go a bit dark, down. Yes. Okay, cleaning the brush. Now, what else should we do? I see but this is touching like black here, but this is touching. Maybe we should do this part because this one is almost dry. So I don't like to use black. The black I'm using is neutral tint. This is kind of purple. If you want to make it more like darker purple, you need to add some yellow maybe. If you want to make it more black, let's say yellow or brown, like a yellowish brown. You see, and this thing looks more like the usual black color. And then we can go this one. I will remove a bit of color. I have too much water, I would say, on my brush. So I will remove a little bit. So the same here, we can I think I have too much water in this mix. But okay, we'll see. It's starting to look like him, right? What do you think? Okay, I think this part starts to be dry. It's not 100% dry, but it's not bad. I'm adding more black because I need more consistency. Oh no, I clean my brush with my clean water. That's okay. We have a lot of water still, not spoiled, I think. Okay, make this one. Now we can add some feathers here. The point of adding a black that is very, very dark here is that we will not be able to see the feather shape. So what I'm trying to do is to make it less dark in some places, which means using less pigment. Okay, and then 1 second, I need to see where does so I should have put the yellow first. I am realizing now, if you didn't put the black one, put it now. Put it later. But if you did, welcome. That's okay. I mean, watercolors are like this, and sometimes you can plan your painting, and that's completely normal. So don't feel bad about it. We can always fix it later, etc. So no worries, really. And then what else I can go? So if you see what I'm doing, I'm all the time going to the parts where there's nothing fresh or that it's not wet yet. So now the only part I see is the beak. Maybe we can make the beak. It's a bit of a magenta, very, very light pink, but with a touch of orange. So let's make kind of a reddish tone. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if making that part like bright yellow, like lemon yellow, or this yellow. I think yellow medium is fine. I don't think we need to make it this part, these feathers here. Okay, something like that. I see I'm using a lot of water. I don't know if it's because of this new brush I'm using. It's number 4 from Van Gogh, Royal Talent, and I don't really understand why. I'm using a lot of water maybe today. Some days are like that. So, okay, now for this side of the bird, I want a more bluish tone of gray, which I'm getting just by using neutral tint without adding brown. If you have paints gray, that's also more bluish than my tone. But yeah, feel free to experiment with your colors. Each palette is unique. Don't really hesitate to try your colors and use your intuition. And what I tried to do here is, this was more like, now I see what's the problem here, but that's fine. It's okay. Like, it's still bigger because, yeah, what I'm seeing is that this should be more like this. I don't know if you see what I mean. This part of the wing is bigger than this one in the photo. Oh, what a beautiful bloom. I love it. I mean, you cannot see it on the bird, but that's fine. It's blooming the yellow with the dark blue, dark black color, let's say. So I tell you, don't hesitate to try different things and experiment, and because there are things that you will like, even if, yeah, we are not trying to paint a photo, like we're not trying really to make a photo. We are trying to represent a bird and how we like to paint the bird. So that's fine. Okay, so I will add now this part with the black, now that I'm already working with black. Oh, again, you know what? I, I swear to God, I give up. So it's, oops, there is some kind of thunderstorm here. I see there is black all around the peak, around the eye as well. Know yet how I will paint the eye, but we'll check that in a minute. Don't make your lines straight if you don't want to. You can make like small, small brush strokes so it looks like it has feathers. I'm just zooming in. You can see now this, but that's fine. I can also zoom in with my mobile phone if you want. No, that's fine. Yeah, come back. Okay, I'm waiting for it to dry. I want this more orangey like. Not orangey, but more like warmer this part. So I'm trying to glaze over the color we already have. If you remember from the basic watercolor techniques, we learned a technique which is called glazing, which is adding a very thin layer of watercolor on top of the layer that was there previously. So the layer becomes tinted with the layer on top. The layer behind becomes a bit more tinted with the layer on top, which is very nice. And then here, honestly, I want to add a bit of this yellow because you can see like, yeah, you can see some kind of highlight there. Okay, starting to look very nice, honestly. I just want to add a bit of color here because this is white, but because the bird is in this position, he's really making some shadow there. So you don't really see it like this. Trying to add more brown here and there. Especially on this side, the brown is quite intense, right? I think, yes, I see quite intense brown over there. Yes. Maybe that's dark, but that's fine because now with this, we can put water surrounding it and it will automatically blend. You can also help him blend. There's a thunderstorm outside now. Okay, so now what I really love is this tail. The tail is really gorgeous. I mean, wow. Okay, here we have to be careful. I will paint everything. I will add if I need it later. If I need to add some white dots, that's fine. I will just leave that kind of white part it has free, but the rest I will cover it in black. And if we need to add a small white parts later, that's fine. Okay, this part is more rounded here, but well, we can fix it later if we want. Then the eye. The eye is very interesting because I'm trying to make it bigger. So the eye, we will do something. We will make a brownish, this brown that I made before. With a very thin brush, we will make a brown line. Okay, we will let it dry. And then we will paint the whole eye black, and then we will add just a tiny bit of white with white marker later. If you have one, that's great. If you have also maybe some gouache or a white pencil, anything white that we can put on top will be fine. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding some kind of small marks to say there are some feathers. I mean, you really don't need to do this, but I like to do it so we can say, hey, here there are some, this guy has feathers, you see? So really with not a lot of water, with more paint pigment and water, you can make that. Then what I will do is the lines that we made over this part of the feathers, I will draw them in this kind of orange so we don't see the black lines maybe. So we say, okay, it's a kind of shadow yellow, even if you don't see that in the photo, but that's fine. It's just to add a bit more of shadow and color. I think it's white. It's great. Then here I see more tones of, okay. And then I'm dying to paint the eye, honestly. I want to paint the eye so badly. Okay, excess of water. Bye-bye. Very careful when you do this part, because it will be very difficult to fix. I'm sorry if I'm now in the middle, but I really need a good view of what I'm doing. Okay, then we'll add the white dot, don't worry. And I don't like how the beak looks like. Looks like, I don't know, very much called magenta, called red, you know, like called pink. I want to add a bit of red. Let's make a glaze again. Let's glaze it again with some red. Some mix of red with warm magenta, warm pink, let's say. Okay, so this is glazing, you see? You glaze a thin layer on top. And then here what we will do is these feathers, of course, they are white, but honestly, they are never white. We can see really some shadows of the feathers. You can see some kind of texture. So don't hesitate to add some gray, light gray for the feathers there. Oh my God, it's stunning. It's coming out so beautifully. It is. I see the head is bigger on the picture than our drawing. That's fine. I will then start adding the background because then I don't want to focus more on the details of the bird, and the background I see it's like a very beautiful green, like moss green or something like that. So what I will do is I will pick up some sap green, and now I'm dipping my brush on the clean water because I want to add a lot of water to this painting, to this mix of paint I'm doing, sorry, not to this painting. And I'm mixing fade away with sap green, with some pyrrole scarlet. And yeah, this is so beautiful. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to go around the bird with my color. And I will go around it only for this right side, and a bit for the top. And then with a lot of water, I will run around the lines of what I just painted. Because I wanted to make a gradient I can do the same for this upper part as well, no, with the leftovers. But yeah, I see it's not concentrated enough, so let's mix a bit more. Perfect. Even if it's darker, that's fine, don't worry. Or if it's a different shade of green, it's fine as well. We don't need to be so specific and so perfectionist, especially the background, which is just give some context for the little birdie. And before it dries, please, you know what you need to do. You can add water, but also try to control a bit the amount of water you're adding. I mean, you can go crazy as well. It's just that depending on your paper, maybe your paper doesn't absorb the water very much. If it's not cotton, my paper is cotton right now. I see I don't like the it's a very like fixed. I'm sorry if I'm moving things around. I just need to work fast in this stage. So what I'm doing now is I'm making it darker, surrounding the bird so it has more contrast with the background. This paper is not great for the amount of water I'm using, but it's very nice to have a good proportion between absorbency and then smooth to do some drawings. So that's why I use it, because it has a good balance, I would say. Sometimes I enter like this flow trance state where I cannot speak to you at the same time I'm painting. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to do it differently. And that's why sometimes I edit the live stream sessions, because if I'm like very, very I stop talking all the time, see, and maybe it's difficult to watch later. That could be very annoying for the people watching it. I know, I'm aware. I'm sorry for that, really. But yeah, sometimes you just are so focused on what you're doing that you don't really know what to say, or or if you know what to say, the words don't come out. Okay. And now painting this little bulb, I would say, or flower bud. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Okay. There is also a kind of leaf there, and then there are some other branches around. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are interesting to add them now to the surroundings of the bird, because everything that gives it context, I think, helps. Not only context, but also yeah, that he's not floating, you know, like he's not really floating. He's surrounded by flowers and something like this. I will not add more things to it because I think that's fine. Then what I will add is the little toes, but honestly we cannot see anything on the image, so I will just make them a bit dark and brown, you know, we don't care that much, honestly, because we cannot see really what's going on. We know that something is happening there, but it's in shadow. So something like that. And honestly, wow, pretty much done. I don't know why I stopped doing the background there because now I want there some background. So let's add a bit more background there. Okay, maybe we'll add here. I'm just looking at the photo and looking at my image to see if something is missing. Maybe here another kind of leaf. Yeah, something like that. Wow, that's very cool. Now, I really want to add, because the bird is quite dry, I want to add the white. So I will show you what you can use. You can use a white pencil like this one. Let me see if I find my favorite one. It's quite small already. Look, I need to find it. Just 1 second. It's my favorite color pencil so far because it's so white and it goes on top of anything almost. If I don't find it, it's because it's here. But this one is from Derwent. Yes, I will show you right now. I will also sharpen it because it's a bit small. Let me also pick up my different white pens because there are many options here. Let me also pick up my white gouache. So here are the options you have. You either have a white pencil. Not all white pencils are very dark. What I mean is that not all of them can be seen on the paper, but this one is very, very well. Chinese white, they went drawing. I love it. And then I will sharpen it a little bit. We're over the time, I'm sorry. But yeah, we had to draw the bird 3 times. Sometimes I feel like I tell you too much detail and then we need to make it shorter. But let me know, please. I would love to know your feedback on this. Then we have the white jelly pen from Sakura. This is very known, very well known. It's called Jelly Roll Sakura 08. Then we have the Posca white 0.7 millimeter. This is a acrylic paint pen. And then you have simply white gouache that you can pour on your paper. And then with a brush, you can add the detail. So it depends on what we're going to do, but I will use the white gouache for the eye. I'm just making it a bit. You can also try here, click to see if it's going to make the eye too big. And I think yes, this is going to make the eye very big. So let me pick up a brush with a finer point. This number 2 Da Vinci Casaneo, I love it. Yeah, this one is perfect. So we made the bird, you see, the bird eye reflection. We can also make here a few brush strokes so you can see it's not only white, has more things. Then if you want to continue with the brush, that's fine. You can use it for these little marks it has here on the feathers. Okay, something like that. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, but yeah, but by making this bigger, I'm saying this third is bigger than this one because this one is on the side, more or less to say. Yeah, then what John Muir from this book recommended was to add with this white line, to add a few strokes here so we can give the illusion of having lots of feathers as well if we want. Although we already did this with the watercolor, so not really mandatory or needed, but yeah, just in case you want to. This part is not quite dry yet, but yeah, you see, you can even add some things like that. like that. For example, here I see the green went too far, so I'm adding more white to say the chest is bigger. Now what I will do is, I'm just missing some definition of the feathers there, okay, here on this side. And maybe here I see on the photo, we have some things here, right? 1 second, let's add that first. It looks like here we have some feathers. At least they look like quite prominent on the photo. That's right. Then we want to make more definition on the feathers here. And what I will do is, you can do it with the pencil, the regular pencil we used before. I want to use a black, if I have one. I don't know if I have one, honestly, a black pencil. I don't think so, because I don't use black very often. No, I think the darkest thing I have, which is brown, right? Yeah, okay, I mean, can work as well, but I'm not sure. Don't try it yet if you want. I don't know if it works, honestly. I don't see it much. What you can use, otherwise it's a gray, a kind of gray. But yeah, it doesn't, you cannot see it very much. Maybe this one, this is a foil pen, pencil, sorry. I just want to give some, lines to say, hey, these are feathers as well. You see what I mean? But yeah, I think it looks great so far. I will add some vertical lines here. You can do it with your own pencil that you used before. It doesn't need to be small. And here there are some smaller white things. You see, we used all the whites, different whites, and they all work for this kind of painting. So nice, beautiful. I really, really like it, honestly. I don't know what you think about it. Oh, sorry, I was painting this last. So you didn't see them. I will add here a bit of a greenish tone. I will add more definition here. Now this is just for fun, honestly. Yeah? I'm just adding more definition to certain parts, just because I'd like to, but it's not necessary, really. We already did the hard job before, so don't worry if you don't want to add more details. That's completely fine. Okay, nice. And then if I can add, I really like this pink. Oops, something. Okay. Maybe, yeah, something like that. So I'm very happy with it. I will leave it there. I will put today's date. It's 15th of July. Patreon live stream. So remember, we have our second live stream on 28th of August. Sorry, August, no, July. I know how to speak. And yeah, I hope you like this session. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learn a bit how to paint birds, some of the tips that I found. Yeah, I hope that you are proud of yourself for trying it out and for painting birds. It's so amazing that you are trying to do new things. Really, thank you so much for joining. I will upload a photo because now with this light it's almost night outside, so it's not so good this light, but I think we did a nice job. If you want to add any more details after the session, that's fine. If you want to share with me your creations, I would love to. As you can see, I really love to add a bit more of definition with some of the pencils to the beak, for example, etc. This is the result. I think our guy has smaller head than the guy in the image, but that's fine. We will manage. We will make it work and do it differently next time. Look at us, we painted a bird. Oh my god, a bird. That's awesome. Thanks so much for joining. I hope to see you in the next live session. And yeah, have a great week and see you soon. Show me your creations, please. Bye bye.